Hi, everybody. It's Tyler Yonker, aka Mrs. Yonks with REtoken, the real estate DAO. Super excited to be introducing a sister project of ours called Tokentown, Colorado. And one of our friends, James Sutton, is going to be minting his founding NFT citizenship. So, super excited about that. He was very gracious about offering to do this on a live stream so everybody could see what the process looks like, and is also working on his own very exciting project, Fabric, which we wanted to introduced to the REtoken community. So with that, would love to introduce James Sutton and also the co-founder of REtoken, Jason Yonker. So would love for you guys to introduce yourselves and let's get started. So James, we'd love an intro. Tell us about yourself and Fabric and what are you working on? We'd love to hear it.
Yep. Sounds good. So my name is James Sutton. My pseudonym is Xerix. I've been working in the blockchain space since actually around 2012. So pretty long time ago. I've been working as a software engineer and in the software engineering space for quite a long time. But one of the big things that we've been really focusing on this year is, what everybody else is, I feel like in some ways, real estate and blockchain and kind of that intersection point. We've been exploring this place since about May or so, and what we've really come up with as a solution is a kind of the ground level or kind of the infrastructure layer for the concepts of real estate ownership and actual tokenized assets in the real world within a mechanism that allows for complete decentralization. So within our system, you could, for example, buy fractionalized ownership of a car, of a house, of a industrial fabrication plant, of a Coke factory. Any of those different things can be tokenized in our system. And we work both in a B2B and also a direct to investor or direct to consumer market. The really exciting thing about Tokentown and REtoken is that those two projects are actually not, in Web3, there is definitely less competition. Everybody's kind of working together, but there are also projects that are very synergistic. And Tokentown is actually very synergistic with our infrastructure and what we're building, because Tokentown in the future and future versions of Tokentown can actually be built on top of our infrastructure, which is actually really exciting. And it's a really exciting potential partnership and potential kind of sisterhood that can potentially exist between our different organizations. So our big interest with why we really want to be a founding member is first, actually, I love Colorado, and I would actually definitely love to live in Colorado. Secondly, is to kind of set that stock swap, or that merging of the universes in some ways, to say, you know what, we're aligned. Our two projects, whatever we end up doing, has alignment. And we're going to do that by actually putting our money where our mouth is and actually literally minting our first NFT token for a founding member of the Tokentown, Colorado.
Absolutely fabulous, and glad that you are here, James. You are literally the first non-active contributor to REtoken that is acquiring a founding citizen NFT here. And I'm sure that that's going to change very quickly, though, because one of the things that we're very excited about is that we are our project, Tokentown, REtoken, just recently, not even a month ago, received a Polygon ecosystem DAO grant to the tune of, I think whenever we got it, when it was transferred into our Gnosis Safe, which is our multi-sig treasury, I think it was around 10 grand at the time, and number go up on the Matic, so it's a little bit more than that. And we're going to be using that to actually contract with Creator DAO, which Mrs. Yonks and I are also involved in, which is a Web3 content marketing agency. And one of the goals is of this marketing campaign, thanks to, again, the Polygon ecosystem DAO, is to hopefully sell out these founding citizens in this first round, which is limited only to 32. And one of the things that's very exciting about this NFT is, first of all, it's done on Unlock protocol, and it literally took us weeks. And if you want to torture yourself, you can absolutely watch the replays of, I think we hosted like 11 or 13 working groups, like in a monumental effort through the REtoken team. And we're just really getting started. And one of the things about this is that we're really looking to do a hybrid governance model, because the tagline for TokenTown is the HOA destroyer. And one of the things when we were coming up with this concept, it really resonated with us and with everybody else, how much people absolutely loathe the, and for those that may not be familiar, HOA is a homeowners association, and there are literally hundreds and thousands of them across the United States here. And when you think about the HOA model, unfortunately for most people and for most models, it's not a technology-enabled model. And we absolutely believe that the technology-backed framework that DAOs, decentralized autonomous organizations, provide a much better governance framework. Because when you think about it, at the essence, that's all that an HOA is it's a community governance framework. Now, municipalities absolutely love HOAs for a lot of different reasons, and we're not going to talk about those today. So we're really taking and having a complete paradigm shift from this HOA community model that most people are familiar with. And we're working on building the community first, where we can be more intentional about creating a framework, but then also through the framework that a DAO provides, have something where if we the community wants to change some of those, it's a known process. Like right now, if somebody wanted to change a parameter within their HOA, good luck with that. Let me know how that goes. And we'll be talking more about that here going forward. But we could talk about this. This is something that Mrs. Yonks and I are very passionate, looking forward to, again, have James and everybody else there at Fabric as far as being engaged in these conversations, because that's really where we can make the best framework, where we can scale this on a global basis. So are we ready to get to it, James and Mrs. Yonks?
I think we are. I can give it a shot.
All right. Well, are you going to fire up some screen sharing on your end as far as walking through how easy it is to?
Can you see it?
Not. I do right now. Yeah, it's coming in.
Perfect. Well, this is tokentown.net, right? So here we are. This is my first time actually going through this process. I will say I already have my MetaMask account set up. I do have 1.15 WETH and 0.2 Matic. So I'm ready to go through the process. And if you want to walk me through it, we can do it together.
Yeah, well, it should be pretty easy. And that's one of the things that we really love about this process. And it literally, like, I even did a video. So you just click on this and this will open up a dialogue here. So the underlying technology is Unlock protocol, which is, in my opinion, and it literally took us several weeks to finalize on this. And the great thing about this is that there's no, no middleman fees. We literally are the owners of this smart contract that through this Unlock protocol. But anyway, it's just waiting there on your end, and it's a super easy process. And then you just go down, connect your wallet, and it'll be done. And the thing that'll be fabulous on this is that pretty instantly you'll be able to see, and I think that this will be token number 5. This will be the 5th one out of 32 that are available. And
yeah, and just a quick plug for Matic. This is the transaction cost, 5 cents.
That was absolutely one of our parameters for this, is because we're not sure. We really want to see more utility in this NFT. And that's one of the things that was a requirement, is if we want to upgrade to a more utility NFT down the road, because like one of the things that we're wanting to create is a cooperative housing NFT. And whether it'll make sense to do with this or not, that's the thing. We wanted to put some very loose parameters within this as far as, and then allow the founding citizens to really come up with and establish the initial framework, which we will hopefully amplify and truly destroy the legacy and antiquated HOA models that we see today.
Are HOAs common in Canada, James?
I don't know if did we lose the audio?
James, can you hear me?
Minting the NFT blew his connection up.
Yeah, it happens to the best of us.
And speaking of Colorado, I do have the Denver Bull and Bush shirt on here. This is one of my one of Tyler and I's favorite places here. So speeding
Awesome.
up, yeah. Welcome back.
James, you back? All right, cool.
I'm back. Yeah.
Hey,
I literally, it actually did blow up my connection. It was actually really the point where I actually clicked approve width limit. I'm in a full disclosure, I'm in a parking lot at a mall, and the Wi-Fi that I'm connected to has a 30-minute timeout. And it was right at that 30 minutes that I clicked forward via for actually picking up the width bend limit. So I think I might actually have to increase the gas price.
Can we just throw a shout out to the Fabric community for having a leader who's working on his vacation in a parking lot? No stopping, no true love. It's fantastic.
I told my wife and her mom to go and find stuff to shop because I've got my in-laws staying with us. So yeah, this has been nonstop. We're going back and forth. And like yourselves, Tyler and Jason, we are a team as well, both in the traditional kind of world of relationships, but we're also a team in work too. She's also a core member of the Fabric as well.
Yeah, you totally need to move to Tokentown when we get it built and come be our neighbors. We need more of our people. So you guys are definitely our people.
Awesome. Sounds good. Well, I'm actually going to cancel this because I have a suspicion that this probably broke because my internet died. So I'm going to check real quick to see if this actually exists on chain. It does. Okay. So I guess the question is, should we wait for it or should we increase gas costs? What do you guys think?
I would bump the gas up. Give it more gas.
Like, give it more gas.
Give it another 5 cents.
All right. Well, currently it's at 550, and for whatever reason, I think I bumped it up once, and Matic didn't like that, or Matt didn't like that. Now it says, you know what? Now I can only cancel it. So maybe it might be worthwhile to cancel it and then kind of go through the process again. If you guys think?
Go whatever you think.
Sure.
Okay.
You guys here at REtoken, we are always learning. So we did not actually do this before we do a live stream. Everything we see, you see. So that's our commitment to transparency.
Yeah. Well, now we know what happens when you try to mint token when your internet fails, literally right in the middle of the process.
And that's the thing. You mint the NFT. It's not like you can go back and remint it, because once that's done, it's out there. And this is one of the things too that we are going to have some conversations here in Q1 is we're wanting to create an opportunity for rage quit, as it's commonly called, because we believe so strongly in what we're creating here. If for whatever reason somebody doesn't want to be involved with the project or whatever the case may be, we want to say, okay, no worries. We believe that strongly in what we're building.
Awesome. Are you guys able to see my MetaMask?
Yeah, we can see your screen all good.
Awesome, cool. I think it's please confirm your transaction in your wallet. Right here. Yeah. Technical difficulty. It's always an interesting to see exactly what's going on with this. So we do have the purchase. It is pending. We're unable to locate the hash. Boy. Okay.
Yeah, it does.
So that's what happens. What happens
for minting the NFT.
Okay, it does take a second. Okay.
So James, have you used Unlock Protocol for Fabric before? Are you familiar with them?
I haven't used it before, but it looks pretty awesome. I really like how it looks and how easy it is to use. Besides the fact that, I'm looking at it, I don't think it's the application's fault. I think it's to the fact that it wasn't designed to be used when you literally lose your internet connection halfway through the unlock process. But it looks. We are currently planning on building out some NFTs within our protocol. We're not sure exactly where those NFTs are going to live just yet. Yeah, that's definitely something that we're exploring and thinking about, is maybe what Unlock Protocol could actually do for us, because there are definitely some NFTs that we need to build that are very, very, very core to our overall system. And they don't necessarily need to have any deep development or kind of other processes besides just being an identifier or signal. I feel like Unlock Protocol would be perfect for that. So again,
really
gonna try this one more time.
It's really cool technology. One of the things that we liked about it is, and I'm not sure how active you are with Fabric's website, or some or not at all or whatever, but they have a plugin for WordPress that you can actually log in with your wallet and skip your email and your name and whatever else that you normally need to do to create credentials on a new website. So it just makes it super Web3 friendly. And you can also token gate access to community. So our TokenTown founding citizenships are going to obviously have access to certain things that the rest of the non-holders won't have access to. So Unlock is a cool way to gate stuff and validate it with people's wallets, that we can say this wallet's holding this NFT, so that person can see it and other people cannot see it.
Yeah, that's really cool. I like that. I realized I actually need to send myself some more gas. So we are actually talking about the gas price being pretty low, but we still actually do need to send some amount of gas over. So I think we were just a little bit shy of the actual amount needed to send. So I'm just a little bit more over, and that should help with that. Yeah, I think it was requiring like 0.2, and I think I have 0.1873. So actually, know what? If anybody wants to send me 0.02 gas or 0.02 something Matic, that's what I'm needing right now. For whatever reason, I'm running into this pen issue with Polygon, and it's definitely causing some issues. It could also, maybe speed that up a little bit. You think maybe 600?
It's entirely possible that Matic is getting busy as well, because I'm trying to switch the network right now to Matic. So I'm getting an error on my end, just trying to switch to Matic in my MetaMask.
Well, it's not just me. Well, in any case, I'll be definitely going through the process and making sure that it does work. I don't know if we want to kind of to wait for that process to complete. Ideally, it does kind of go through. It'd be really great if it did. But I'm just trying to get the gas to go through. But what happened there? Did it actually go through? No, it didn't go through yet. What I'd love to do is actually.
Did you want me to send you one Matic if I can get my wallet switched over?
That would be fantastic. I'll send it to you on Discord.
Yeah, or here on Zoom, whatever is the easiest.
Yeah, it's done. Oh, I got a transaction confirmed. Which one was that? Let's see. Perfect. I think I've got enough.
And anybody that may be watching the replay, blockchain technology isn't perfect. So we're all building together and learning together, like Mrs. Yonk said.
Yep. And not only that, but every chain that you work on is different, and they all have their own quirks and unique things that it's everybody is building the future, and everything is thankfully everything's connected, but everything has its own kind of unique pros and cons and strengths and weaknesses.
Well, these are the stories that make it all work. Well, after fast forward to TokenTown's built, everything is there. We're looking around to see if things are saying 10 years from now, saying, hey, you remember when you're sitting in a parking lot, the internet didn't work, and you ran out of Matic, and then this happened, and then this, look what it turned into. So,
I love those. I love those. I mean, I literally met my wife in Mexico City. This is a tangent, just as we wait for this pending process to complete. I met her at a restaurant, and I didn't speak any Spanish, and she didn't really speak any English, but she spoke a little bit. And I just thought that, you know what, I'm in the middle of a place. I have no idea what I'm doing. I'm just going to go say hi and see where that goes. And well, I've been married to her for about 6 months, and we've been together for
That's
almost 3
amazing.
years.
That's spectacular.
Congratulations. We love stories like that.
That's so much
Yeah.
fun.
Tyler and I met on Tinder. True story.
We did meet
Nice,
on Tinder.
nice.
It was our first non-date date. He started texting me about private equity and startups and stuff I had in my profile as stuff I was interested in. And I actually thought we might be getting together to talk about work. And I thought I might be picking him up as a client. And I didn't know if it was a date or not. And he wouldn't tell me. So I wore cute shoes on a Tuesday afternoon and cut him off after an hour because I had another meeting to go to. So and then we got married.
And I still thoroughly stand behind the belief that you don't need to put a label on having a beer in Colorado, especially at 3 p.m.
That's why you got 3 p.m. It's on a Tuesday instead of a Friday night, because dates are for Friday nights. Meetings are for Tuesday afternoons. Anyway, but I had cute shoes on.
I was just there to have a beer with somebody I met on Tinder.
There you go. Just never know.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, that's so funny. Go ahead.
I said I was just giving some love to Mrs. Yonks.
So
Oh, that's awesome.
So-
Good. Things are actually at least coming through now. So we did have one fail, which is probably actually a good thing because I don't have to fast. So as you can see, this is what happens on Matic when you attempt to, or on MetaMask, when you attempt to actually go through the process a few times, especially when one hasn't completed yet and you're waiting on gas, is you'll get these transaction requests and they'll kind of pile up a little bit. My hunch is when one of these actually succeeds, the rest will kind of just go through and we'll actually be able to go to the actual purchase at the bottom here. But yeah, I guess maybe Polygon does have some congestion right now. Is that right? Is that what you guys are seeing too?
Potentially. I was having trouble just switching my MetaMask account over to Matic, and this is it'll be interesting. Polygon Matic is definitely getting a lot of momentum, and we've already seen what congestion results with on Ethereum mainnet. Hopefully we don't see that occur on Polygon as well.
Yeah, exactly. That's something that's definitely worth considering and thinking about. And it's honestly, that's something that we've been thinking about too, at the Fabric, is around which chains do we launch on, where should we start? In kind of the full transparency, we have definitely thought about Polygon extensively. We have a lot of people in our community who are deeply invested, both figuratively and literally, in the Polygon ecosystem. And we have been exploring extensively and testing around with it. For our specific use case, we've decided to go with Arbitrum, which is a slightly different network provider. It utilizes the Ethereum mainnet for security. I don't think it scales any better than Polygon would. But for our specific use case, just again, because like if you have a house, you literally have a house tokenized on a network and you have title literally on the blockchain, you don't want that network to go down, and you definitely don't want a double spend. So those reasons are why we've gone with Arbitrum. But honestly, we're running into the exact same issues. We just had a coordinate round. I don't know if you guys do coordinate at REtoken yet. But we use that for doing distributions within our organization for work done. We just did our first Arbitrum layer 2 distribution. The previous one was layer 1, which was expensive, as you can imagine.
Sure.
Yeah, honestly, Polygon has definitely, I actually use Polygon myself for almost all of my own personal kind of transactions and transfers. I think it's fantastic and it's super cheap. Yeah, just trying to get this trying to get this to process. We're almost there though, I think. The thing with MetaMask is you can't, when you have processes queued, you actually have to wait for those queues to complete, which is, it's useful. It's a useful way to understand kind of how blockchain technologies work. But it's also something that, when you're live streaming, it can be a little annoying when you're waiting for things to actually complete. Well, at least it's on chain now, so that's good. So it's physically showing up. It's just going to take a second for it to actually continue to go through.
Yeah, no, I'm quite familiar, James, with some of these pain points because we being me, have done a good amount of the airdrops for REtoken on live stream using Coinvice, and that's where I was like, "Yep, got to give it some more gas because I don't got time for the depending on the transactions." So,
yeah, exactly. No, it's something that and it's funny because like right here, it's not even actually saying that it's actually waiting to get processed. It's just it needs to be picked up by an indexer, which of course just takes ideally just an extra couple of seconds. Yeah, everything blockchain, it takes a little bit longer than you might want it to.
yeah, no, I was even when I do my airdrops on Coinvice, which is normally like multiple addresses that I'm doing, so it's like a multi-sig transaction, and I normally increase both the gas limit and the gas on those, and I haven't minted that many NFTs because like we're not in the NFT business, even though we do have the TokenTown founding citizen NFT. This is but do a lot more multi-sig airdrops on Polygon for REtoken, and do that via live stream like I mentioned.
Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. Yeah, I mean, yeah, I'm not sure what else to say while I wait for this.
Well, one thing that I did want to go over for our audience real quick is
Yeah.
just what the TokenTown NFT does. It's a governance token, and it's specifically not an investment. One of the things that we want to be really clear of is Jason and I were involved in another project where they were trying to make their pool of investments and their pool of governance the same pool. And so they sold out all their governance tokens, and then they were trying to buy, and then they didn't have enough money, and then they want to dilute everybody. It's turning kind of a big mess. So one of the things we just want to be super clear is this is a governance token. We're going to be doing the actual investment through a regulation crowdfunding offering. We want people to guard and guide the flame, make the decisions about this. And when we do the actual investment, we're going to be doing that through a registered securities offering. The other thing that we wanted to be really transparent about is the only decision that's made about this community so far, it's going to be in Colorado somewhere. We haven't picked out a parcel of land. We haven't made any final decisions about anything. So you're going to be in at the beginning, making all the decisions with the other founding citizens, figuring out what we want to do. We did this. We did, as we always do, a fair launch. Jason and I are both founding citizen holders. We each put in 1 ETH. We get 1 vote. You get 1 vote. We don't get extra votes. We don't get more votes. We didn't get free citizenships. We paid the same price that everybody else pays, and we did pay for them already. We were citizen 1 and 2. So we just want to be totally transparent about that this is not something that we don't eat our own cooking on.
And one of the things too that's worth mentioning, we said that it's limited to 32, and the reason, for those that may or may not know, 32 is the amount of Ethereum on the 2.0 architecture of Ethereum, where we could, if we wanted, to obtain yield on this while we're working towards building out TokenTown Colorado by setting up our own full node. And that'll, of course, be up to a governance process for these founding citizen NFT holders. And we do have a corresponding ERC20 token too, because we understand and appreciate that there's people that have already contributed to get to where we're at. So we're going to look at doing a hybrid governance model where the founding citizen NFT holders will have a higher weightage than the ERC20 token holders, but it's still where we can work together to build this HOA destroyer model that we're wanting to create here with TokenTown.
Yeah, that's a phenomenal governance model. We've actually been at Fabric, we've been thinking of something similar. And honestly, if we want to kind of have the same governance model and standardize that, I don't know if that exists somewhere, but let's do it, because that is the exact same kind of universe that we're also exploring too. And in a lot of these ways, in a lot of these different kind of parts of the project, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single time. Blockchain is unique and different, but it's not that unique and different.
And we like to consider it like just taking some Lego blocks, and I absolutely agree. And that's one of the things that we love the collaboration, because we're talking about disrupting an industry that's deeply entrenched. The real estate industry, it became painfully apparent to me when I was hanging out at a happy hour, how much that a lot of people in the real estate industry may not necessarily be excited about the idea of being disrupted. True story. I was talking about some of these exciting projects, and at the end of the happy hour, I was kind of just like having a beer by myself.
That's the thing with real estate, is it's an entrenched, right? It's an industry that's been around for almost as long as anything. And it's created a suite of individuals who, make their living on being middlemen, right? On being a part of the process and doing things that, might not add direct value, but they are a required part of the system. They found a way to kind of put themselves into some part of the system where they are required. And the nice thing about blockchain and Web3 is we're breaking down some of those barriers and making it so that some of those middlemen are they're obsolete in some ways.
Yeah, well,
go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, we know the founders of another project, it's not related to REtoken, but it's called DAO, and one of their first projects is they are tokenized, or they're working on a tokenization effort with the bank. So the bank is going to be paying them instead of them paying the bank. They just thought that'd be the ultimate irony for a situation with real estate. And I thought, how fun would that be? That's very intentional to make a statement about what they wanted to do. So I thought it was pretty funny.
Perfect timing. Guess what? It's done. I have it. The purchase has gone through. I currently have it. So I guess the question is, I now have the NFT. If I click this button down here, what will happen? Will it show me the NFT?
I'm not sure if it'll show you there. That's the button to acquire another one. So, I mean, we right now don't have anything that prevents somebody from acquiring multiple founding citizen NFTs. That's something that we've talked about, but it's something that we don't necessarily, and that's by design. We wanted it to be some very loose parameters where we put those bullet points. And this was through a vetted process that our team came up and agreed upon these bullet points. It's also ingrained in a series of tweets that we did when we were launching Tokentown, Colorado. And these conversations are going to amplify substantially here in 2022 as we work towards, getting more momentum. And that's the thing that's pretty exciting about this, is that we're building a new framework for, because I promise a lot of people that are successfully building HOAs aren't excited about their model being disrupted either. But looking forward, I sent a link there on the Zoom, and it is showing up. Like, if you click, James, go ahead and click on the link and just bring that up on OpenSea, because now I was refreshing that page. And there is your asset. You are token number 5, and the URL or the parameter right there is the smart contract address. So there you go. It's
welcome to the team. Super exciting. We need to change your role in Discord to a Tokentown holder. So small community
Ooh.
and we're growing. It's exciting.
Yeah, look
absolutely.
at that 49C899. We did it.
Love
Awesome,
it.
We did
guys.
it, and I
Well,
think
with that,
Tyler-
my wife is calling me.
You
Well-
tell her thank you so much for letting us borrow you while you're on vacation, and say hi to your mother-in-law, and you guys enjoy the rest of your vacation. So that's wonderful.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us, James, and welcome to, again, Founding Citizen, and looking forward, because we love having more conversations, and that's by design. We didn't want to let this be just our rules for creating this, because that's the challenge with the HOA model, is that the people, the builders, or like the developers, they create all the rules for that, and then they sell out so this is completely flipping the whole model on its head. Welcome, and we'll let you get back to the in-laws there with your wife. Have a WAGME 2022, and looking forward to having more conversations and learning more as far as the fabric and where we can go together.
Yeah.
Thanks, James. We'll talk
Good
to you next
morning.
time.
Good morning, good evening, and we're all going to win. Cheers, guys.
We're gonna win. Yeah,
Yep,
thanks.
have a great
Thanks
one.
again. Okay, bye.